I didn't see the mummy. I didn't see the mummy. I didn't see the daddy. I didn't see the uncle or aunt. I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, and there was already a guy named The Rock, which I thought was weird that he would pick that name, because when I was a kid, there was a guy named Don The Rock Morocco, and he was an asshole, and he was one of my heroes as a kid. He was such a jerk. And he had this manager called Mr. Fuji, who's this chubby Japanese guy, and he would put on this really thick Japanese accent to like play it up, and I want to do it, but I'm afraid that the Human Rights Commission will go Pearl Harbor on me if I make fun of the Japanese, and I don't want the Human Rights Commission to go Pearl Harbor on me for making fun of the Japanese. So he was a wrestler. There was him. There was Jake the Snake Roberts. I remember him because he would beat the guy up, and then after the match, he would take a snake out of a bag and rub it on the guy, which I thought, even then, it's kind of gay. Like, I'm going to beat you up and put a snake in your mouth? Take my snake in your mouth. But that was the WWF, because there was different wrestling leagues. The WWF stood for World Wrestling, fuck you, we're crazy, and that was them. Then they had to change their name because the World Wildlife Fund said, hey, had those initials first. So now it's the WWE. But when I was a kid, I didn't so much watch, like, the WWF was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and like Andre the Giant, like all the big stars. I liked watching the cheap wrestling league. It was called the AWA. Like, in the WWF, they have Hulk Hogan. In the AWA, they had like the Grappler. The guy had no muscles or anything. And when you would watch it on TV, like WWF had thousands of fans screaming. AWA, they did it at like where the merchants play hockey. Like that's where they filmed it. There's like 10 guys drunk, just like, yeah, right, whatever. And they hated it. And they had guys like the Mechanic. And they were terrible. They had one bad guy that was great though. He was called Baron von Raschke. He was this bald, crazy guy. And his finishing move was the claw. He just put his hand on their head and squeezed. So, and the guy would go, no! Please stop squeezing my head! It's too, please, no, I give! And then, like, two people in the crowd would clap, and it would be that, like, sarcastic clap, like... And Baron von Raschke would go apeshit, like, yeah, I squeezed his head. The most famous guys from the AWA were the Road Warriors. Their full name was the Legion of Doom, Hawk, and Animal. And they had their faces painted, and they had the mustache goatee thing because they thought they were tough or something. Okay. And then they had mohawks. The one guy had a mohawk, and then the other guy had his head shaved to be the hair that would fill in a mohawk. So he was like, yeah, he was like the yin to his yang.
What did you call it? The dohawk.
Where they have the things here, just the things on the side. That's the dohawk. The inverted one. He was the evil one. But they were the best wrestlers ever. They could do every move. They could do the pile driver, the suplex, the rusty bucket, the dirty Sanchez. He could do all the moves. I don't know any more moves. They could, the camel clutch, where you sit on their back, and they could do the fucking round the door, do-si-do, or whatever it was called. I didn't put wrestling in memory. Now the big league, the WWF, wanted to have the Road Warriors in their league, but there was a problem with money. So instead they made up a knockoff bunch, which were the worst wrestlers ever, but because they were the worst, they were the most fun to watch. It was these two guys, and they called them Demolition. And they came to the ring, they wore hockey masks like Jason from Friday the 13th, but it was spray painted black. And they had this theme song, and it went, here comes the axe, here comes the smasher, the demolition, walking disaster. And I love that song so much. I would sing it at times when you didn't need a song like that. Like I'd be having dinner with my family, and they'd be like, can you pass the salt? Here comes the salt, here comes the pepper. And they're like, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear the started man and the soakers and the bees. Axe and Smash couldn't wrestle at all. They couldn't do moves. The guy called Axe would just do this. And the guy named Smash would just do this. And that was it. Like, they just ran in the ring. And then the other guy would fall on them and they'd win. And then they'd be like, yeah! And it was so sad, but that was so amazing to me. So that happened. Speaking of wrestling.